Hi, welcome everyone. Today we are going to begin with a new topic which is clocks for logical reasoning CSEET. Okay, previously we have already finished all our topics of logical reasoning. I am just taking you all through that once to just have a look that what was our index for this particular subject. Okay, so logical reasoning 20 marks. There were total 25 topics which we had to do. I have also completed with the topic which is 14 calendars, and now today we are going to begin with a topic which is clocks. Okay, so there is a way, a method, okay, for solving the sums for clocks, okay, or giving the correct answer for the question asked on clocks. So like how we had done the concepts for calendar and understood the concepts so thoroughly that any question asked from that particular chapter or topic was easy. Similarly, for clocks, we are going to understand what is the concept behind the questions which are asked. Okay, so once we know the concept, we'll be able to attempt any given question. Towards the end of the video, I will also show you a small trick, okay, with which you will be able to solve the question, give the answer without using the pen and paper also. But that is only towards the end of the video. First, we are going to understand the entire topic and entire concept behind the clock. Okay, so let's begin. Now, as you all see here, I have made one clock for you all. Okay, so we all know that in the clock, if I am say suppose this, there is one hand which is known as an hour hand and one hand which is known as the minute hand. So if there is something like this in the clock, you all will tell me, ma'am, if I ask you what is the time, you all will tell me, ma'am, it is 12:15. Right? It is 12 o'clock, 15 minutes past 12. Right? So we have two hands. One is hour hand and one is the minute hand. We also have the longest hand, which is the seconds hand. Okay, which keeps on moving fastest. Okay, so we will not go on the seconds hands as of now. Let us first understand the hour hand and the minute hand. The smaller hand, okay, the one which is small is the hour hand and one which is bigger is the minute hand. Clear? Simple. Small hand is our hour hand, which indicates what is the hour time, and the minute hand, the bigger hand, indicates how much minutes past the hour. Okay, now hour space and minute space. Okay, now hour space and minute space. See, before I take you all to that table, understand one thing. We have in clock, okay, in clocks, we just spoke about, we have hour hands and we have minute hands. Okay, this is a smaller one and this is a bigger one. Clear? Now in the clock, there is something known as hour space. Okay, and there is something known as minute space. So now hour space is nothing but the space between two given hours. So if I tell you the space between 12 and 1, or I tell you the space between 1 and 2, or space between 2 and 3. Okay, so hour space is nothing but the space which is there between two given hours. Okay, so when I show you my clock over here, okay, so the space between these 2 hours, the space between 1 and 2, or the space between 2 and 3, or the space between 3 and 4, okay, this is known as the hour space. Okay, and minute space, okay, minute space is nothing but the space between the 2 minutes, okay, or the 2 times. Now see, minute space, if I tell you the minute space between 12 and 1, how many minute space are there between 12 and 1? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, correct? So there is 5 minute space. And if I tell you what is the hour space between 12 and 1, only 1 hour space. If I tell you the hour space between 12 and 2, you will say 2 hour space, correct? So understand one thing, that hour spaces, okay, is the entire circumference of the clock. The entire circumference of the clock, okay, we have 12 hours. Therefore, we have 12 hour spaces. 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Okay, so hence and so forth. So therefore, we have 12 hours. So we have 12 hour spaces. Similarly, okay, each hour is further divided into 5 parts. It is called as minute spaces. So if I tell you what is the minute space between 12 and 1, it is a 5 minute space. Okay, the whole dial is, therefore we are having how many minute spaces? 60 minute spaces. Okay, for the whole circumference we have 60 minute spaces. We all know there is 60 minutes and there is a 12 hour space for the whole circumference. Okay, now in 1 hour, the hour hand will move only 1 hour space, but it will move 5 minute spaces. Okay, in 1 hour, our hand will move 1 hour space, but it will move 5 minute spaces. This can be asked in your MCQ. Okay, now see how. Just we did that, right? Here. If I am telling you that right now the time is 1 p.m. Okay, it is 1 p.m. Now, after an hour, in 1 hour, this particular, okay, hour hand is going to move at 2. Okay, 1 hour, after 1 hour it is moving, the clock is moving for 1 hour. So now the hour hand will be at 2 and the minute hand will be at 12. So how much has the hour hand moved? Hour hand moved only 1 hour space, but minute hand, okay, how many, the hour hand has moved how many minute spaces? It has moved 5 minute spaces. Correct. From 1 to 2 there are 5 minute spaces, but 1 to 2 there is only 1 hour space. So if I am talking about only the hour hand, the conclusion is that it moves, that in 1 hour the hour hand will move 1 hour space and it will move 5 minute spaces. Similarly, now for the minute hand, in 1 minute, okay, in 1 hour, sorry, in 1 hour, the minute hand will move how many minute spaces? 60 minute spaces. It is going to complete the entire round for 1 hour from 1 to 2. This minute hand is going to complete the entire round. So it is going to move how many minute spaces? It is going to move to 60 minute spaces. How many minute spaces? 60 minute spaces. Our minute hand is going to move 60 minute spaces in 1 hour. And how many hour spaces it is going to move? 12 hour spaces. Right, it is going to move how many hour spaces? 12 hour spaces. From 1, when it will become 2 o'clock, this minute hand will go from 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then again come back to 12. Right? So it is going to move how many hour spaces? It is going to move 12 hour spaces. Okay, so clear, we have two things. We have to understand two important things. One is hour hand and one is the minute hand. So if I am talking about anything happening in 1 hour, in 1 hour, the hour hand is going to move 1 hour space and it is going to move 5 minute spaces. But in 1 hour, the minute hand is going to move 60 minute spaces and 12 hour spaces. Hence, I can say the minute hand is faster than the hour hand by 12 times. See, no, in 1 hour, the hour hand could move only 1 hour space. But in that same 1 hour, the minute hand has moved how many hour spaces? 12 hour. See? So it is 12 times faster. Clear? Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, this particular chart is very important based on the clocks. Okay, all these concepts we are going to use in the question. Okay, so we have to understand hour space. We also have to understand the minute space, and in 1 hour we have to understand both the hands, how much they are going to move. Hour hand and minute hand, how much it is going to move. Okay, now coming to, yeah, see, so therefore I have written over here. Thus the time taken by the hour hand to cover the distance of 1 hour space is equal to the time taken by the minute hand to cover the distance of the 60 minutes spaces. Right? Thus in 60 minutes, the minute hand covers 55 more minute spaces than the hour hand. Right? Even in the minutes. See, in 1 hour, minute hand is moving 60 minute spaces, but hour hand is moving only 5 minute spaces. So 55 minutes more it has moved faster, no? And even in the hour hand takes 12 hours to move around the circumference of the clock, while the minute hand takes only 1 hour to do so. Thus, minute hand is 12 times faster than the hour hand. Okay, so this entire thing what we did with the chart was to explain you that the minute hand is faster than the hour hand by 12 times. Okay, we may have questions on this, therefore it is important for us to understand. Now understanding the angles of the clock, okay, between the minutes and between the hours, everything. Okay, so we have to understand the angles. Now coming back to the clock again, okay, the clock which I have made over here. Now now understand one thing. This is a circle, complete circle. Okay, the entire circle, the center part here. Okay, we have done that in maths in our school time. It will be 360 degree angle. Now we are doing angle. Okay, we have to understand about the angles. So both the minute hand, one is the minute hand and one is the hour hand. Whenever they are moving in the clock, they form a particular angle. Okay, they form a particular angle every time when they are moving. So in the exams, in the logical reasoning of clocks, they are going to ask you a lot of questions on the angles. That if the clock has moved from 12 to 1, what is the, if it is 1 o'clock, what is the angle between them? Okay, if clock is showing 1 o'clock, what is the angle between them? If the clock is showing 12:15, what is the angle between the minute hand and the right hand? Okay, so the angle questions are going to be asked to us. Okay, now there are three important types. Now what are the three important types of the angle is? One is perpendicular. Okay, these three types only we have to understand. One is perpendicular. Perpendicular means what? Say this is 12, 3, 6 and 9 in the clock. Okay, perpendicular means like this, right like this. Okay, where the minute hand is standing on the hour hand. So here they form a 90 degrees, a right angle. Okay, where they form a right angle. It is known as a perpendicular. Okay, so according to you all, what is the time right now? It can be 12:15. Okay, it is like no, sorry, it is 3 o'clock. It is 3. Why? Because the minute hand is the longer, so its smaller hand is here. So it is 3 o'clock. Right? So perpendicular over here. It can also be perpendicular like this. Correct? Right? Perpendicular here also. So understand, perpendicular is when they are going to make a 90-degree angle. Okay. Now say in an hour. Okay. I am erasing this. Okay. If I tell you between 12 and 1. Okay. Between 12 and 1. How many times the minute hand and the right hand are going to be perpendicular to each other? Okay. So this is the circumference. It is 12 o'clock. Okay. So when it is going to be 12:15, it is going to be perpendicular. When it is going to be 12:45, it is going to be perpendicular. 2 times in a given 1 hour. In a given 1 hour. So here it is 1. Okay, 1 hour. So in a given 1 hour, twice the hands are going to be perpendicular to each other. Okay, the hour hand and the minute hands are going to be perpendicular to each other twice in 1 hour. Okay. Similarly, next one we have is, after perpendicular, we have a 180 degrees. Okay, opposite in a straight line. In a straight line. So say this is the center, this is 12, this is 6. Okay, so if I say it is 12:30, okay, so it is going to be in a straight line. This is the hour hand and this is the minute hand. So in an hour, between 1 hour, say between 12 and 1, the clock started at 12, okay, and it is only going to run till 1 o'clock. How many times is this going to happen where both the hands are opposite each other in a straight line at 180 degrees? Only once. Only once. They will be opposite each other only once in the 180 degrees angle given in 1 hour. Okay, I am talking everything with respect to 1 hour. With respect to 1 hour, what is the angle formed between the minute hand and the hour hand? Okay, we are talking everything with respect to 1 hour. So if I tell you between in an hour, how many times the minute hand and the hour hand will be perpendicular to each other? 2 times. But how many times they will be in a straight line making 180 degrees? Only once. Okay. Next is, both the hands will coincide each other. Coincide each other means they are together. Exactly one another. So say this is the circumference. Okay. This is 12, 3, okay, 6 and 9. So say this is the minute, the hour hand, and this is the minute hand. Okay. exactly they are on each other. So they are coinciding on each other. Whenever both the hands coincide with each other, they are exactly on one another, the angle formed will be 0. There is no angle. It is going to be 0 degrees. No angle. 0 angle. Okay. So in a given hour, how many times it is going to coincide with each other? Okay, only once. Only once. Again, same thing, like how it will come in a straight line only once. It is going to coincide also with each other only once. Okay, so therefore conclusion I can say that coincide, the angles will coincide both the hands only once. What is coincide? 0 degrees. They are going to be opposite also only once. Opposite will be 180 degrees. And they will be perpendicular twice. Okay, what is the degree? 90 degrees. Clear? Okay, until your 3 angles we have already understood. Okay, now tell me one thing. Now we are going to go to the angles between each hour space. Okay, so first we have understood this coinciding, opposite and perpendicular. Okay, 90 degrees, 180 degrees and 0 degrees. Alright, so this is the second concept of clocks which I have done. First one was the hour hand and the minute hand spaces. How much is the hour hand and minute hand moving in 1 hour time? Okay, so we had done this was the first thing to understand, important. We all know we have 12 hours, we all know we have 60-minute spaces. That is something which we all know since we were kids. Okay, but this particular thing, that in 1 hour how much movement of these hands is happening as per the hour space and the minute space, this was the first thing to understand. Next one was the angles, part 2. Okay, so the center angle is 360 degree. Now we have how many? Now with the help of this center angle, we will be able to find out what is the degree between two given times. Okay, 2 given hours. Okay, so say in 1 hour. Okay, pay attention. In 1 hour, minute hand will also move. Minute hand is mh. And hour hand will also move. So when I come back to this clock of mine, in 1 hour, this minute hand will also move and this hour hand will also move. So say in 1 hour means from 1 o'clock it became 2 o'clock. So it is just going to move this much, no, the hour hand. But the minute hand will complete this entire 360 degrees. So if I want to talk in angle form, it is going to move entire 360 degrees, the minute hand. But how much is the hour hand going to move? We have 12 hours. The entire circle circumference is 360. So we can find out the angle between this, like from here till here, between 2 hours in 1 hour. Therefore you can say in 1 hour, the minute hand is moving 360 degrees. It is completing the entire circumference. But the hour hand is going to move 360 divided by 12 hour spaces we have got. We have got 12 hour spaces, right? So it is going to be how much? 30 degrees. So in 1 hour I can say the hour hand will move by 30 degrees. And in 1 hour minute hand will move by 360 degrees. Done? Here. Okay, then in 1 minute. Okay, in 1 minute, both is going to move. No, hour hand, minute hand will also move. And hour hand will also move. Okay. So how many minutes In 1 minute, minute hand will move how many degrees? How many degrees it has? 360 the circumference. How many minutes do we have? We have 60 minutes. So it is going to move only 6 degrees. Okay, so what is that 6 degrees? I'll show you here. See, it is the amount of the space between here. You can see this and this. Okay, so the space between this is 6 degree between 1 minute. How much is the angle between 1 minute? 6 degrees of the minute hand. Of the minute hand. But what about the hour hand? Hour hand will move negligible. Okay, our hand is going to move negligible in this case. Okay, so we'll just see. This is 6 degrees. Now our hand, what happens is in 1 hour. In 1 hour. Okay, our hand is moving 30 degrees. 1 hour I can also write it as 60 minutes. It is moving 30 degrees. Our hand. Therefore, in 1 minute, it will move how much? Cross multiply. Correct? 30 into 1 divided by 60. So it is going to be half. Exactly half, or I can write 0.5 degree. Half degree or 0.5 degrees. Okay. So negligible it moves. In 1 minute, the hour hand moves negligible. Hardly anything it has moved. So when you try to calculate that, it will come as in 1 hour, our hand we know is moving 30 degrees. Now this you have to put it in your heart and mind. Okay. Whenever asked. In 1 hour, the hour hand, the spaces between these two given hours is 30 degrees. Okay. So for 1 hour, I can also write as 60 minutes here. It has 30 degrees. Correct. So in 1 minute, it will be how much? It is going to be half a degree. So in 1 hour, we found out the degrees. For 1 minute also, we have found out the degrees. Okay. Now, again coming back to this. Coincide, opposite and perpendicular. Okay. Now we have a 12-hour clock. I told you in every hour, the clock is going to coincide only once. Okay. Only once in 1 hour. Okay. Hour hand and the minute hand is going to coincide only once. So, in 12 hours, this was in 1 hour. In 12 hours, it will coincide how many times? In 12 hours, it will coincide for how many times? You all will say, ma'am, 12 times. If it in 1 hour, it is coinciding 1 time. Therefore, in 12 hours, it will be 12 times. But no. The answer is 11 times. Okay, it will coincide only 11 times. Now for this, you all will have to do an activity of going and seeing the clock for the whole day for 12 hours. Then only you will come to know that though we have 12 hours, but coincide of both the hands will take place only 11 times. Why so? Why so? I'll tell you. Okay, see this clock. Okay. Coincide means what? I told you, both the hands are exactly on each other. They are meeting. Okay, exactly on each other. Now, when that starts happening, okay, from 12 o'clock, say here, it starts happening. So the minute hand is going to move fast and the hour hand is going to move slow. Okay, so for 12 hours, then it will happen that it will be at 1 o'clock also, 1:05. Okay, then 2:10. Right, both the hands will be together. Then at 3:15. Okay, they will be together, but it is not it's not like that. Not exactly at 3:15 and not exactly at 2:10 they are together. Okay, there is a little bit of difference of the fractions of that amount of minutes in that. Okay, so due to that fractions, what happens is that between 11 and 12, between these 2 hours, the hands coincide only once. Between these 2 hours, the hands coincide only once. So though we have a 12-hour clock, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so I start a step from here and I have to go till the 4th step. So I will not count the first one. Okay, I'll count 1, 2, 3 and the 4th. Correct. So I will not be counting the one from where I start, right? I will count from where I will begin. So this is the concept which you have to apply for the clocks also. Due to the movement of the hour hand also happening, okay, and the minute hand also happening, there is a difference. Okay, not exactly at that time, not exactly you can say 1-5 they are together. There is a difference. If you will see, not exactly at that time they are together, you will see it will be somewhere before or after. Okay, therefore these two hands will coincide with each other. In a 12-hour clock, they will coincide only 11 times. Only 11 times. Okay, so this you have to put it in your heart and your mind, that in a that in a 12 hours time, 12 hours clock, the coincide will happen only 11 times. Similarly, okay, similarly, even in case of opposite, in 1 hour it is once, but in 12 hours it will be only 11 times. Okay, opposites also it will be only 11 times. Okay, now same thing, that for the perpendicular, it is twice in 1 hour, but in 12 hours it is going to be only 22 times. Okay, it is going to be only 22 times and not 24 times. Okay, it is twice, no? So you will say, ma'am, 12 into 22 you do, so you will get 24. No, it will be only 22 times. 2 times it will be less. So in a 12-hour clock, 12 hours time, coincide will happen only 11 times. Opposite, they will be exactly opposite to each other. They will be again 11 times, and they are going to be perpendicular only 22 times. Okay, this is the theory. This is the concept. You have to fix this in your heart and your mind. Only then we will be able to answer the questions for clocks. Okay, all these concepts are very important. Okay, therefore, since in 12 hours it is 11 times, so in a day, if they ask you a question in one day, it will be how many times? In one day means 24 hours. So in 24 hours it is going to be 22 times coincide. Similarly, it will coincide and it will be opposite also 22 times, and it will be perpendicular 44 times in 24 hours. Okay, in 24 hours. Alright, so this is very, very important. We have to keep this in mind. Okay, coincide, opposite and perpendicular. Okay, now there are various type of questions which are asked in the exam based on the concepts of the clocks. One is the theory. They will ask you this type of theory. Okay, one is based on finding the angle. One is when they will give you the angle and they will tell you what is the time, please find out. Okay, that also can be asked. So there are 2-3 types of different questions which can be asked from this particular chapter. But you all have to first understand all the concepts, and then there is one formula. You do not have to apply so much of brains. Okay, you have to just simply put the formula. So the formula is nothing but angle is equal to 11 upon 2 m minus 30 h, where m is nothing but the minutes and h is nothing but the hours. Okay, then I will show you some short tips and tricks also, that without pen paper how will you be able to then give the answer, because putting the formula then solving that in the mind, that will come only when you will keep practicing the questions. It is not going to just come like that. You have to practice it. Okay, so any question asked from clocks, when you will put this formula, there is no way you go wrong. Okay, I will show you the tip lastly, that with the help of the MCQs how can you answer. Okay, since pen paper is not allowed, but say in case you can do this in your mind, there is nothing like it. Okay, so if you will do this, you are not going to go wrong. Okay, now let's start with a example. Okay, so I have done all the theory, correct? We have done all the theory. See, just make one small correction here. Thus the angle between each hour space is 30, no? We solved that, right? We have 12 hour spaces, 360 divided by 12. In 1 minute, the minute hand will cover 6 degrees, hour hand will cover half a degree, and in 1 hour, minute hand will complete the entire circle and the hour hand will move only 30 degrees. Okay, say coincide once, they are at right angle twice, and they are opposite in a straight line once. So in 12 hours, they are going to have a 180 degrees or 0 degrees. Opposite or coincide only 11 times, and in 24 hours, 22 times. To be perpendicular, in 12 hours, they are going to be only 22 times, because they are perpendicular twice in an hour. Okay, and 44 times in 24 hours. Okay, in a day. Important formula is angle is equal to 11 upon 2m minus 30h. Okay, where m is minutes on the clock and h is the hours on the clock. Okay, now see this. They have given you one question. At what time, for example question, at what time between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock the hands of the clock are going to be opposite each other? Opposite, exactly opposite. When they are opposite each other, I know that they will make an angle of 180. Right, and they are asking me time between 2 and 3. Between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Okay, so if I want to put this formula, if I want to put the formula, which is what, angle is equal to what? 11 divided by 2m minus 30h. I know the angle. Right, I know the angle is 180. I also know the hour. I don't know the minute, so I am keeping this as it is. Hour will be what? 2. Why? Because I have to find the time between 2 and 3. So it has to be 2 hours past some minutes, no? 2 hours past some minutes. Okay. So 2 o'clock, see, even in the MCQ, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock past some minutes. Okay, so 30 minus 30 into 2. Now okay, this is going to be, we have to solve this equation. So 180, this minus 30 into 2 is going to be 60. I am taking this 60 over here, plus this is going to be 11 upon 2m. Right, 180 plus 60, it is going to be 240. 240 into 2 upon 11 when you change the sides. So 2 I got it into multiplication, 11 I divided, it will become m. So basically it is 480 upon 11. 480 upon 11. When you will do this, 11 4s are 44. 11 3s are 43, 33. You will be left with 7. So what will be your answer basically over here? It will be 43 7 upon 11. Right? The minutes is going to be 43 7 by 11. The fraction of the seconds is there. Okay. So your answer is going to be 2 o'clock past 43 minutes 7 by 11. Okay. So see, this is your answer number 2. Okay. Answer number 2 is the correct answer. Okay. Here they had given me the angle but not the minute. So with that I could find out the minutes. So the answer is 2 o'clock. Whenever the hours, between 2 hours it is given, take the first one. So it is given between 2 and 3, I'll take 2. Okay, now how are you going to solve this in the mind? So this is going to come only and only with practice. Okay, you need to know the table of 11 very, very well. Okay, when you are going to divide, you are supposed to divide it in your mind. Okay. Now there is one small trick. I am showing you all this correct right now only. We are going to see whether this trick is also being correct with the other sums, and it is going to be. Okay. Now see, look at the MCQs. Okay. You look at the MCQs. It is all 2 o'clock, but the minutes we don't know. Okay. So the first one is 34 6 by 11. Next one is 43 7 by 11. Other is 56 8 by 11, and then 64 9 by 11. Generally whenever we will not know the minutes, 11 will be in this denominator in the fraction. Okay, always whenever the minutes is not known and we are trying to find the minutes with the help of the angle and the hour, minutes will be in the denominator of the fraction. Okay, so this is a fraction, right? It is a combined fraction, right? So now in the MCQs you will find that MCQ which adds up to the number which has 0 in its units place. So say suppose 34 plus 6. Okay, the numerator you will add to this whole number. 34 plus 6. Okay, here. Okay. 34 plus 6 is going to give you 40. Okay, it is going to give you, actually there it is 32. The MCQ you need to correct it. The MCQ over here they have given you 32, not 34. It is 32 6 by 11. So this is going to become 38. 43 plus 7 is going to be 50. 56 plus 8, it is going to be 64. And 64 plus 9, it is going to be 71. Right? So the number which has 0 in its unit place is the right fraction for this type of questions. Okay, but this is just to solve it as a tip. I'm just giving it to you. If you are left with no time in the exam and you want to really do it fast, it can be possible that there are 2 MCQs which are having a 0. So then in that case you can use elimination option also, right? And try to solve this in your mind with the help of the table of 11. Okay, so this is one example question. Let's move forward. When clock is too fast or too slow. So say if a clock or a watch indicates 6 hours and 10 minutes, we will say that the correct time is 6. It is said that the clock is 10 minutes fast. If it indicates 6:40, Then the correct time is 7. Okay, because it is already past 30. 30 is already past. So I can say the time is 7 and it is said to be 20 minutes too slow. Okay, 20 minutes behind. That is why only then it can be 6:40, no? From 7, if it is 20 minutes behind, then only it can be said, no, it is going to be 6:40. You can say 6 past 40 minutes. Okay, or you can say 7 and 20 minutes too slow. Too fast, too slow is the way this can be asked in your theory questions. Okay, now let's move to the ICSI practice question. What is the angle between the two hands of a clock when the time shown in the clock is 6:30? So 6 is the hours and 30 is the minutes, right? So we can use this formula. As per the formula, angle is equal to 11 upon 2 m minus 30 into h, right? So 11 upon 2 m is what? 30. Okay, 30, no? In m we have 30 minutes, right? And 30 into 6 in hours. This is 2 ones are 2 15s are. So 11 into 15 minus 30 into 6, which is 180. Okay, so 11 into 15 is always 165. Okay, 180. 165 minus 180. I'm getting the answer in minus 15. Ignore the minus sign. 15 degree is the right answer. Okay, 15 degree is the right answer. Okay, right? Now there is one more small shortcut in finding this answer. Okay, I will show you that. Now what happens is, coming to a clock. Okay, we'll remember this question. My clock is here. Okay, they are asking me the angle it is going to form in 6:30, when it is going to be 6:30. So this is the hour hand and this is the minute hand. Okay, around 6:30, something like this only, no? Like the hour hand will be a little far from 6 and the minute hand is going to be exactly on 6. So they are asking me this particular angle, right? Hour hand is 6 and 30, right? So okay, now we all know that 6:30 is between 6 and 7, right? I told you 1 hour space is making how many degrees? 30 degrees. Okay, it is making 30 degrees, right? And how many minutes it is? 30. Make it half. 15. I am showing you the tip to solve it in mind. How many minutes it is? 30. Okay, if it would have been 40 minutes, I would have made it half. It would become 20. Make it half, exactly half. 15 minutes. Okay. Now, here you are going to subtract it. 30 minus 15, 15 degrees. Why are you going to subtract it? Okay, because here basically the hour hand and the minute hand. Okay, the minute hand is kind of, it is at, the hour hand is little bit ahead of the minute hand. Okay, a little bit ahead because it is 6:30. No, it is, the hour hand is not always exactly at 6 when it is 6:30. Okay, so hour hand is little bit ahead of the minute hand. So therefore you are going to subtract it. Similar sum will come, we will try to solve it like this also, and we will try to solve it with the help of the formula also. Okay. Let's see the next question. Okay. At what time between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock the minute hand and the hour hand are on the same straight line but facing opposite directions? Easy. We know in opposite directions the angle formed will be 180. Correct? So basically the formula, if I put 180, will be equal to 11 upon 2. M I don't know. But yes, hour I told you, you will take 3 hours. Why? Because we are finding time between 3 and 4. Right? So 180, 30 into 3 is 90. Minus sign will become plus sign over here. 11 upon 2 M. Okay. So we have 180 plus 90. 270 into 2 upon 11 will be the simplification we are doing of this equation, right? 270 into 2 is 540. So 540, if you will try to divide by 11, 11 4s are 44, right? Then you will get 100. 11 9s are 99. And you will get 1 as a remainder. Okay, so in your minutes you will have 49 1 by 11. See, whenever you are trying to find minutes, I told you 11 will be in the denominator. 11 will be in the denominator whenever we are trying to find the minutes. Okay, so without pen and paper, if you are trying to solve this, I told you the whole number, if you add it with its numerator, it will become a number which has 0 in its units place. Units, tens, hundreds. Okay, we have done that when we were very little. Okay, so this is going to be your minute answer. So basically it will be 3 hours 49 1 by 11 minutes. So here is your answer number D. Answer number D. Whenever we are trying to find minutes, okay, we will have 11 in the denominator of that fraction. Remember. So we are having only these two MCQs over here, right? Denominator is in the fraction. But yes, here again 39 plus 1 will also become 40. So you will have to try to solve this in your mind. Okay, you will have to try to solve this in your mind, putting this equation. In the mind, you just need to know that 180, you will do addition of the hours with 30. When you multiply by 30, multiply again by 2 and try to divide that number by 11 and see what answer is coming. So I came to know it is 49. When I am trying to divide 540 by 11, obviously in mind 11's table is very easy. You will be able to crack this particular question. Okay. Now, next question. By how many degrees does the minute hand move in the same time in which the hour hand moves by 28 degrees? So now we have to establish the relationship. Okay. So now I know one thing. I had already taught you all that in 1 hour, okay, hour hand moves how many degrees? 30 degrees. Okay, so in 1 hour, minute hand moves how many degrees? 360 degrees. We all know this. Okay, so I can say hour hand. I have established this relationship. We have done that. Hour hand and minute hand. Okay, so in 1 hour, when hour hand is moving 30 degrees, minute hand is moving 360. Okay, now in that same time, if hour hand is moving 28, minute hand will move how much? We will do cross multiplication. So it will be 360 into 28 upon 30. 12 into 28, it is going to be 366 as the answer. 366. Okay. Next question. In next we have, at what time between 3 and 4 o'clock both the hand and minute hand will coincide with each other. Coincide means they will have 0 degrees as the angle. So when we put the equation, 0 will be equal to 11 upon 2, we don't know the minutes, minus 30 hour, which you will take the first one. Between 3 and 4 they are asking, no? So you are going to take it this as 3. So now here you will do 0 plus 90. 11 upon 2m, right? Now you will say 90 into 2 upon 11 will give you m. 92 is 180. So 180 you will try to divide that by 11. 11 ones are 11, right? 11 6 is 66. So in your minutes you are going to get it 16/4 by 11. So your answer has to be 3 hours 16/4 by 11 minutes. So B is your correct answer. Practice this question again with the help of the formula, you will be able to get it. Now see, 16 plus 4. First thing, in the numerator, or in the denominator, you need to have 11. So see the options. There are only 2 such options in which there is a denominator 11. Now in these 2 options also, here easily you can do 16 plus 4. See this 16 plus 4. It is going to give you 20. There is a 0 in the units place. So this is the correct answer. Okay, if you want to try to solve it faster. Now the next one. How many degrees will the minute hand move in the same time in which the second hand moves 480 degrees? Okay, now first we will establish a relationship between the minute hands and the second hands. Okay, so we have a minute hand, we have second hands. Okay, in 1 minute, actually 1 minute is how many seconds? 60 seconds. I know that in 1 minute the minute hand moves 6 degrees in 1 minute, but the second hands is going to complete the whole circle. In 1 minute the second hand is going to complete the entire circle, correct? So 6 into 60, 360, right? Now they are saying that the second hand is moving by 480. So how much will the minute hand move? So now you will say, well, how can there be an angle which is above 360? So do not argue. It is given in the question that the second hand is moving by 480 degrees. So how much is the minute hand going to move? Simple, cross multiply. Cross multiply. 480 into 6 upon 360. Right? So it is 6 ones are 6 60s are, and 6 ones are 6 8s are. So answer is 8 degrees, right? Okay, first I established the relationship between the minute hand and the second hand. I know 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, and in 1 minute the minute hand moves only 6 degrees. So in 1 minute the second hand is going to move, take the whole circle, 360 degrees, or 6 into 60, right? So it is going to move 360 degrees. Therefore, they have given me 480 degrees for the second hands. I can find the minute hands. It is going to be 8 degrees. Okay. Now there are some bonus practice questions I have given. What is the angle between hour hand and the minute hand of the clock when the time shown is 5:30? So 5:30 means 5 is the hours, 30 is the minutes. We will put the equation, angle will be equal to, okay, angle will be equal to half. Minute is how much? 30, and hours is how much? 5. So this is going to be 11 into 15, 150, 30 into 5, This is 165 minus 150, going to be 15 degrees. Okay, it is going to be 15 degrees. Okay, now see, even here also the same logic you can apply. 5:30, no? So say in this clock, 5 is here. Okay, 5:30. So hand is here, hour hand, and the minute hand is here. I'm not drawing it very perfectly, but just for you all to understand. Say there are two hands, hour hand and minute hand. 5:30. So between 5 and 6, how much is the angle between the hour space? 30. Right? And 30 minutes they have given, no, half. It is going to be 15. You will minus it. Correct? So it is going to be 15 degrees. Alright? Okay. Now at what time between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock will the minute hand and the hour hand of the clock be perpendicular to each other? Okay, now for perpendicular I know that it is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, so now they are saying basically at 90 degrees 11 by 2 m minus 30 h. Right? Now 30 h means I am taking 4. Between 4 and 5, no? So it has to be 30 into 4. 34 is a 120. So this will become addition over here. Okay. 11 upon 2m. Right? This is now going to be 210 into 2 upon 11 m. Okay. Now 210 into 2 is 420 upon 11 m. Now 420 divided by 11, I am going to do it by 3. Okay, 11 3s are 33. Okay, and I am going to get that 9. Okay, 8 is 88. So 2. So the answer will be 38 2 by 11. 4 past 38 2 by 11. Okay, but now that is not there only in the option. Okay, now when the MCQ is not there in the option, then you will have to change your a little bit. You have to change your equation, means you have to change this formula. Simply just nothing. Don't worry, we will do the same thing only. But now the formula will be a little different. It will be angle will be equal to 30h minus 11 by 2m. You can open your institute's book, modules, and you can check. In some, they have solved it by this formula. Some sums they have solved it by the formula which I have been doing all this while. Okay, so in clocks, this is a possibility. It can happen. Alright, okay, so now I know the angle is 90. 30 into 4. I'm doing this again for you all, okay? We are going to solve this again, right? M. Now, this minus, I'm taking it on this side, it will become positive. 34s are 20, 120 minus 90. So 11m will be 120 minus 90. It is going to be 30 into 2. Right? So m is going to be 30 into 2 is 60 upon 11. Now this we can easily do. 11 5s are. Right? Again 5 will be left. Okay. So we'll have 5 upon 11. This when you will solve, 11 5s are 55. You will have 5b left. So it will be 5 by 11 as a fraction. Okay, so the answer will be 4 o'clock past 5 by 11 minutes. Okay, so see, this is the answer D. Okay, now I told you whenever we are trying to find the minutes, 11 has to be in the denominator. It is there in these two MCQs. But over here when you will see 5, 10 by 11, 5 plus 10 will become 15. But here it is 5 by 11. 5 plus 5 is 10. In the units place there is a 0. So the appropriate correct answer is D. Okay. So in the question, in the exams, if your MCQs are only helping you to give the correct answer, try to find it with that. Okay. If there is a doubt that no, there are two MCQs having same 20 means there is a 0 in the units place, then we'll have to solve. Then try to solve a little bit in your mind. You'll be able to crack it. Okay. Now the next one. A clock has started at 9 o'clock in the morning. Through how many degrees will our hand rotate when the clock shows 1 o'clock? Okay, so here we have 12, here we have 1, here we have 9, 10, 11. So it started from here, from 9. Then it moved to 10, 11, 12 and then it came to 1. Okay, so basically from 9 to 1, how many hours are there? 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. 4 hours. In 1 hour space, what is the angle formed? 30 degrees. Therefore, in 4 hour space, it will be 4 into 30, 120. So, it will form an angle of 120. There will be a 120 degrees, okay, in the clock which started from 9 and it has gone until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Through how many degrees it has rotated? Through 120 degrees, because there is a 30 degree hour space, there is 30 degree in 1 hour space. So 30 into 4 hours, 120 degrees. Correct answer. Okay, how many degrees does minute hand moves in 360 seconds? Okay, so again establishing a relationship between minute hands and second hands. Okay, in 1 minute, minute hand is moving 6 degrees. Okay, 6 degrees. Now 1 minute is nothing but 60 seconds. This is going to move 360. Okay, 60 seconds and 360. Now alright, so in 60 seconds, minute hand is going to move in 60 seconds. 1 minute means 60 seconds. 1 minute, I'll write it again. Okay, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Okay, in that the minute hand moves by 6 degrees. Okay, so I can write it like this, that in 60 seconds minute hand is moving by 6 degrees. So in 360 seconds the minute hand will move by how many degrees? 360 into 6 upon 60. 36 is the answer. Okay. Come on, next question. By how many degrees does the minute hand move in the same time in which the hour hand will move by 20 degrees? Now again same thing. Hour hand and minute hand, we are established the relationship between them. We know that in 1 hour, the hour hand moves how many degrees? By 30 degrees. And minute hand moves by how many degrees? 360 degrees. Correct. So here I can write hour hand and minute hand. It moves 30 degrees, minute hand moves 360. Now they are saying hour hand has moved by 20. So how much is going to minute hand be moved? 20 into 360 cross multiplication upon 30. Okay, 20 into 12, 240 is the answer, right? Answer is C. Simple. These are very simple. Establishing of relationship answers are very simple. Next, how many degrees does the minute hand move in the same time in which the second hand moves by 540? Okay, so minute hand and the second hands. Okay, minute hand in 1 minute. Okay, it is moving how many degrees? 6 degrees. 1 minute means nothing but 60 seconds, no? So basically in 60 seconds it is moving 6 degrees. And second hands is moving in how many degrees? 360. Okay. So in 540 degrees, this will move how much? So nothing. We are going to do cross multiply. 540 into 6 upon 360, cross multiplication. Okay. In 1 minute, that means in 60 seconds, 6 degrees the minute hand is moving. Okay, and second hand is moving by 360. They have given me for 540 the second hand is moving. So minute hand is going to move how much? 540 into 6 upon 360. 9s. So answer is D. Okay, D is the answer. Right? How many times does the hand of a clock coincide in a day? Day means 24 hours they are asking. Right? In 12 hours it coincides how many times? 11 times. I told you in 24 hours you will do 11 into 2. 22 times. Okay? So it coincides 22 times. Alright. So with this we have completed the entire chapter of clocks. Okay, so you are supposed to go ahead and again revise all the concepts, read everything which I have given to them. Okay, given to you all. Even this example questions, keep it here the same only. Okay, 34 6 by 11. Keep the, as I told you, the MCQs, keep it like this only. I have just given you the trick for you all to understand. Okay, just a trick for you all to understand. It can happen even in the exams that the 2 MCQs will be having the same trick which I showed you. So then again you will have to solve it in your mind. Okay. So these are the entire theory with all the practice questions. Try to solve this practice questions. Okay. So with this, we have in fact completed our entire logical reasoning for CSEET. Okay. So thank you so much everyone. Take care. The notes are going to be there in the WhatsApp group. So please join the WhatsApp group. You will get these notes. So you will be with the answers which are in bold. So kindly practice from these notes. Understand, they are all I have taken from your module only. Alright. Thank you so much. Bye.